We interrupt this program to bring you important news.
Now, let's take a look at your life, shall we? You get called geeks, you get cleaned out, girls don't even look at you.
I thought this was supposed to make us feel better.
Hold on, Cool Breeze, it gets better. What? I'm accepted at a Ivy League college? Hey, chicks dig smart guys, who knew? Whoa, look at me, I'm the head of a Fortune 500 company. And yes, Mr. Jock who cleaned me out, I will have fries with that.
Wait, no, but that's like a long time from now. We have to put up with this for another 3 years.
That's why you have to learn to enjoy the simple pleasures of life.
God bless the geek.
Hey, you came back this week. Okay then, let's speak more geek. This is the Geek Speak Show. Get ready to speak geek. Featuring interviews with the movers and shakers in geek culture.
Hi, I'm Chris Hardwick.
I'm Ralph Bakshi.
Hey, this is Todd McFarlane. I'm Zach Whedon. Hi, this is Georges Genti.
The Geek Speak Show is powered by GeekTyrant.com, GameTyrant.com, MightyVille.com, RamaScreen.com, and ZergNet.com. Geek is spoken here.
They're listening. You're consuming. You're watching it with your ears. Oh, just listen.
Here are the hosts of the Geek Speak Show, Henry San Miguel and Rachel Rossini.
Hey, I'm Rachel today.
You don't look like Rachel. You don't sound like Rachel even. Hey, we're here.
I look like Rachel,
Geek
but I just
Speak
don't
Show.
sound like her.
Shut up, Joe. Joel is back this week, and he doesn't have a book. Big surprise. Oh, by the way, all you Joel Japitana Geeking Out fans, okay, Joel's mom and his invisible girlfriend.
Yes.
He didn't do it, but he will do it within the show. We're going a little bit out of order this week just because we can do that.
Today.
So, Geeking Out will be next. Don't go anywhere. All of those people who listen for Joel's Geeking Out.
You can listen to me geek out later.
Like I said, Joel's mom and his invisible girlfriend. He's coming up, so don't go anywhere. But everybody else, welcome to the Geek Speak Show. Another week. Rachel's not here this week either because she's not recovering from WonderCon anymore.
Yeah.
She
got her fangs pulled out.
She lost her sparkle. No, she's not a vampire. No, she lost some wisdom. She got a wisdom tooth pulled out. It's kind of painful, those of you who have done it, so she can't talk. It would have been kind of funny, but she just said, no, I don't think I want to go in there and say,
no more Jedi wisdom for Rachel anymore.
Yeah, maybe. Nah, never mind. I'm not going to say that. But she'll be back next week, hopefully. She'll be fine. But we're here, and going to tell you about a couple of things coming up in the month of May, because May, as you all know, is the big month for us geeks here, especially here on the Geek Speak Show. Couple of things, more than a couple of things coming up. The first one is Free Comic Book Day, first weekend in May. Free Comic Book Day, we will cover it again. Where else will we go? Flying Colors Comics and other cool stuff with Joe Field. We'll have Joe on probably next week or as we get closer to it. Hasn't announced yet what's going to happen at Free Comic Book Day at Flying Colors. Remember last year, it was pretty cool. He had Zach Whedon there. He also had Georges Genti signing for you guys. And we, courtesy of Marvel, had the signed Avengers poster signed by everybody, including Joss Whedon. We gave that away. We gave some Marvel stuff while you guys were waiting in line. It was just a fun day, like Free Comic Book Day always is at Flying Colors. So we'll do that. We'll go see a little movie that comes out that weekend, Iron Man 3, I think it is.
I think it's like that. I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll go see that. You'll hear our reviews, both the spoiler-filled ones and the spoiler-free ones before. Joel, of course, is going to spoil it.
I do like spoiling stuff.
Oh, speaking of spoilers.
Spoiler alert!
So this morning, it's up on our Facebook page if you're one of the two people, again, like Joel's mom and his invisible girlfriend, one of the two people who hasn't seen the final trailer for Star Trek Into Darkness was just released overnight as we slept soundly, or some of you played PlayStation or something else. And it's up on our Facebook page. Take a look at it. It reminds you, JJ and company are reminding you that there's no need for you to have your daily iron intake. You guys know what I mean by that. This is the movie that we're waiting for. Not Man of Steel, not G.I. Joe, though that came out already. Not anything but Star Trek Into Darkness. And take a look at it. The reason why I played the spoiler alert is because I was talking to some of the people on the show here. I don't know if JJ had any say in this or not. It reveals a lot, this trailer.
You think so? Do we finally get to see the bad guy? I mean, I haven't seen the trailer yet.
We see who he is. We still don't know exactly who he is. We know he's John Harrison. That's his name.
Who or what?
Yeah, but we don't know what it is. However, we do know a couple of big things. And again, I played the spoiler alert, so...
And we're not just talking about me, right?
No, that would be like this. Okay, now that's about as big as Joel is. Now, what it is, the two big things are, here's the spoiler alert. You heard it already. I warned you. Number one, it's obvious the Enterprise will be destroyed in this movie.
What?
Even Scotty says in the trailer, the ship is gone. She's dead. And
Ship is gone.
John Harrison, the Benedict Cumberbatch character, the villain,
captain,
has a huge ship. Shut up, Joe. Huge ship. He had that look on his face. And to me, it looks like you only see it in darkness, in silhouette. It looks like the Excelsior on steroids. It's like it dwarfs the Enterprise. And Chris Pine's Kirk turns and I should stop calling him Chris Pine's Kirk because he is Kirk now. Sorry, Mr. Shatner, but he's Kirk right now, like it or not. So Kirk just turns to the crew and says, "I'm sorry. I guess we're supposed to assume that he's gonna get him killed because there's no way they can defeat that thing."
He's just like, my bad.
So those are two big reveals. Number one, that there's a huge, looks like a Dreadnought class ship that dwarfs the Enterprise, and the Enterprise gets destroyed. So they,
I mean, if they show us that much in the trailer, what aren't they showing us?
Who is Benedict Cumberbatch still? They still haven't shown us that. I don't know why that's so important, but, villain is a villain. So, Star Trek Into Darkness, the final trailer is out. You'll probably get it this weekend when Oblivion comes out. You'll get it right before that. But if you don't want to go see Oblivion or you have something against Tom Cruise, shut up, Joe, then
I love him.
Just go to our Facebook page and I have it linked on there. You can watch to your heart's content all the Star Trek Into Darkness you want. So that's coming up. Free Comic Book Day, Iron Man 3. Also, the weekend of May 18th and 19th, Big Wow Comic Fest at the San Jose Convention Center in, I would assume, San Jose. We're going to be there. We're going to do something a little bit special this year. We covered it last year. Louise, Rachel, myself were there. This year, we're going to be podcasting from there. So we'll record this show on location. We'll do some of the video stuff also. You guys can come by, say, "Shut up, Joe," to his face, or hit him if you want to. Just make sure you have good aim. Don't hit me accidentally.
That's all right.
You can. Rachel is planning to come down. She stays in Southern California, but she's planning to come up here. Is it down here or up here?
Well, she's not allowed to stay.
Yeah, to visit with you guys, meet you guys. Louise will probably be there. Everybody that you hear on the show, Mark Arnold, the stories behind the stories, the guy that has all those cool interviews, he'll be there also. You get to meet him. Steve Lealoho, speaking of who we talked to last week, he'll be there, as will Frank Cho. Neil Adams is going to be there. He's also, by the way, another good friend of the show, Lee's Comics in Mountain View. Neil Adams will be signing the Friday before at the Mountain View location, so get in line for that because the line is going to be just as big as Free Comic Book Day. Sergio Aragona is going to be there. Brent Anderson, we've had him on the show a couple times. Mick Gray is going to be there. He was there with, he's a good friend of Joe Fields. Speaking of, see, it's all one big happy community, one big happy family here. So that's what's coming up. Big Wow Comic Fest. Again, the weekend of May 18th and 19th in San Jose. Get your tickets now. BigWowComicFest.com is the website. Like I said, we will be there. We'll be podcasting from there.
Big Wow.
Come by. Say, "Shut up, Joe," to his face, or throw something, or get him some food. Or
I'll be working my autograph skills.
Or that one fan you have, that one listener that loves listening to you, we're going to make you happy because...
Wait, I have a fan?
Yeah, that thing that you plug in when it's hot, that thing. So here's Joe geeking out for the 2, 3, maybe definitely Joe's mom and his invisible girlfriend, and maybe that one person that really loves Joe. Here he is, geeking out. Go, Joe.
Check this out. Geeking Out with Joe Capitana. Geeking Out at the Geek Speak Show are powered by Collider.com, GeekTyrant.com, GameTyrant.co, Mightyville.com, Ramascreen.com, and Zergnet.com. Here's Joe.
Hello! A new 3-minute trailer for Zack Snyder's Man of Steel has been released. The first 2 minutes show Clark Kent's origin with a dramatic voiceover by Russell Crowe, and we are entertained. Then the last minute is all action, flying, and fighting, and it's freaking awesome. Man of Steel geeks out June 14th. Filming for Captain America: The Winter Soldier has begun. The Winter Soldier story is based on Ed Brubaker's famous run on Cap. There is a new image of Brooklyn's own Steve Rogers with the Star and Bar shield on his back. Symbolism or practicality? You tell me. Captain America: The Winter Soldier geeks out April 4th of next year. We are still counting down, however, to Iron Man 3. And if you like the Iron Man 3 page on Facebook, they're releasing promo images of Tony Stark's different armors featured in the film. Included are the Mark 39 suborbital suit, aka Gemini, and the Mark 38 heavy lifting suit, codenamed Igor. Iron Man 3, May 3. Iron Man 3, May 3. Iron Man 3, May 3. I'm sorry, I heard if you said Iron Man 3, May 3 in front of a mirror with the lights off, Iron Man 3 shows on May 3. From one Disney galaxy to another, if you like Star Wars, check this out because it's somewhat related. The dude who played Jango Fett is starring in a new crazy horror comedy called Fresh Meat. It's about a gang of criminals trying to lay low after a heist, so they take refuge in a suburban family's home. But little do they know, they're a family of cannibals. Speaking of eating humans, Jurassic Park 3D is doing Jurassically well in the box office. You can bet Jurassic it is, with all the good reviews it's been getting for its creative integration with the 3D effects. Hold on to your butts. Jurassic Park 3D raked in $18.6 million in its first weekend, grossing $376 million worldwide. Evil Dead, however, took the top spot in its first weekend with $25.8 million. Spoiler alert, the dude who plays Ash dies. There can only be one Ash. But I digress. In other Steven Spielberg news, a limited number of life-size E.T. puppets are now for sale. They're about 3 feet tall and made of foam rubber with latex and custom paint. The creepy alien puppet will set you about $250, but it's a great add to any collection because E.T. foam. But if you do like collecting, check out the images from JoeCon 2013. Hasbro did display a bunch of new 3 3/4-inch G.I. Joe action figures that will be released sometime this year. However, don't expect all of them because some of them are just Hasbro customs and prototypes. Tom Cruise's new movie Oblivion is getting mixed reviews. The biggest thing is that the film lacks originality, and in other news, Matt Damon is making a new movie called Elysium, which is pretty much the same thing as Oblivion, but takes place further in the future in the year 2159. Here's something new though. By linking the brains of a human and a rat, scientists have now helped a man wiggle a rat's tail by using the man's thoughts. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na, rat man. This is the first example of a non-invasive brain-to-brain interface between species, and it could eventually lead to scientific telepathy. Man, if only they had this kind of tech in Jurassic Park 3D. Which brings me to video games. According to a veteran tech blogger, the Xbox 720 may be released this November, but it will cost you around $500, considering that the system won't have backwards compatibility and requires online access to play. Good lord, that's a lot of money, but nothing's been confirmed yet. I'm just preparing you so you can get a head start and saving that money, honey, because I was always told if something costs money, warn a brother. And on that note, Warner Brothers Games has announced its newest Batman title, Batman: Arkham Origins. As the title suggests, the game will take place before the previous Arkham titles, with a young, unrefined Batman facing Gotham supervillains for the first time. Fortunately, we won't have to wait that long because Batman Arkham Origins geeks out October 25th of this year for all major consoles. In other gaming news, Zynga is being sued for allowing its executives to sell their stock early while employees had to endure a 50% drop in share value. This comes in light of their newest social game, Company Wars. And EA has been named the worst company in America by the consumers for the second year in a row. Electronic Arts has received the title along with the Golden Poo Award for, and I quote, treating customers like piggy banks, putting out so many incomplete and or broken games with the intent of getting customers to pay extra for what they should have received in the first place, unquote. In a nutshell, SimCity was a bust. Give us all free SimCities now, and we'll all be good. In tech news, the HTC One smartphone comes out April 24th. You can get it at AT&T, Sprint, and T-Mobile. T-Mo, if you know, though. Designed by Andrew Kim, it's sleek and pretty dope with some pretty dope features. It's all metal. The camera uses ultra pixels, and it has boom sound. The price hasn't been announced yet, but we're suspecting at least a $100 down payment with a new plan. Pre-order at htc.com. And in comics, Comixology would like to apologize to fans hoping to download Brian K. Vaughan's Saga issue number 12 from the Apple Store. Just to clarify, Apple didn't ban the issue because of the gay sex in the opening panels. Comixology had simply just never released it to Apple, but due to the controversy and high demand, it's now available on all platforms for your entertainment. So that wraps up this week's installment of Geeking Out with Joel. If you ever want to hit me up, my email is joel@thegeekspeakshow.com, or you can follow me on Twitter @JoelJapitana. Until next time, are you entertained? Are you not entertained?
I'm Zach, and you're listening to the Geek Speak Show.
Hold on a second. Once more, with flavor.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Zach Whedon, and you're listening to the Geek Speak Show.
It's compelling! What's gonna happen to these kids? Yes.
He was there last year at Free Comic Book Day. Just talked about it a few minutes ago. Will he be there again at Flying Colors Comics? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll find out when we talk to Joe Field in the coming weeks as we get closer to Iron Man 3 and to Free Comic Book Day. So now let's talk something that you found, actually, Joel, at WonderCon.
They found me.
They found you? They had a map and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Or you had your GPS thing, your thing was working on it. So it's called the Phoenix Project, a pretty cool project. I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm not going to let Joel butcher their names and try to tell you about it because we have them on here. Hey, guys, introduce yourselves and tell them all about the Phoenix Project.
How's it going?
It's going great.
Hi, I'm Tyler Pavey. I'm the writer and director and producer.
I'm Mike Moroco. I'm the producer.
And I'm Orson Ossman, and I'm also a producer, and I was in the film as well.
So again, the film was called The Phoenix Project. It's up in our link section. It's all on there for you guys. So either one of you take this. Tell us, what is the Phoenix Project? What is it all about?
Well, the Phoenix Project is about 4 scientists who enter a house and build a machine to reanimate deceased organisms for science. And through bringing back animals from the dead, they all go through personal and group journeys about the ambitions of science.
Ends up becoming kind of a struggle for power over a resurrection machine.
So who came up with the story, and who wrote it?
Originally, it was it's a story that I came up with, and I wrote the script for it. Orson helped me some with it, so we kind of developed it as we went. But mostly, actually, we kind of came up with a pretty good idea of the script going in, but we rewrote almost all of it on set. So it was kind of a big rewriting process with me and all of the actors to really write what ended up on the screen.
You guys had to do some ad-lib maybe just to better adapt to different characters who...
tried ad-lib once. It didn't really work.
Yeah, it's pretty important for, I don't know, once you get... you have 4 different actors in the same room together. They're all going to have different acting styles and preparation methods, and it's pretty difficult when you are just like, hey, you guys want to just make up this scene? Because some people are like, no, I want to memorize that. And it's a lot better if you let some actors do what they want to do and other actors, memorize their lines how they want to memorize their lines. And I don't know. It was actually the most constructive was being able to just rewrite every scene. So each character was happy with the things that they were saying right before we recorded us saying it. Really, yeah.
So then, since you wrote some things on the fly, but is the story what it originally was, or did the story change at all after you guys started changing some things once you got together with the actors?
Well, the core story is still there. Ultimately, we wanted to shoot a film that really explored what it meant to be human and kind of talked about the basic struggle that we all have with our own mortality. And that has stayed pretty intact. And since we've kept that as sort of a guiding light, even though the words have changed and even though some of our characters and their motivations around that have changed as we shot it, and since then, the story, they say a film gets written 3 times. You write the script and you shoot it and you write it again. It's certainly changed quite a bit.
It's really stemming from is that once you got on set, there was something that might have been missing from your feeling of what the core story actually was and the ability to execute that. Maybe it's just changed a little bit.
Yeah, when I hear about your story, it makes me think of those 80s campy horror films like Reanimator, or you know what I mean, where it's bringing the dead back, but it's not. Is it zombies, and is it a horror? Is it sci-fi?
I don't give the whole thing away.
I would say it's more a philosophical and ethical dilemma than it is a horrifying or terrifying result.
Ultimately, we end up using the science fiction, just like a lot, I think all science fiction in a way uses something that is not entirely out of the realm of possibility, but certainly past where we are now, to examine sort of a greater problem that we have as people, or a greater thought that we have. So, there is a heavy, heavy sci-fi presence in the film, but what we use it for is to, examine what we know in our day-to-day, in ourselves.
And then I'm just reading your thing. I see that you guys had $30,000 in your budget. You guys had 12 crew members. So I was just, we're curious about the production team. Could you tell us a little bit more about your production? Like, how was that process?
Oh, we had the A-team, man.
Yeah, we we all went to...
Mr. T also?
Yeah, maybe I can explain this.
Yeah, what?
I was like,
all right. He was the outsider.
I was the outsider. I was the one who didn't go to Chapman. I went to Villanova, as like a liberal arts school on the East Coast, and in June of 2011, I moved to Southern California, hoping to make movies with my friends for as long as I could hope to think of the future. So the first thing I did is I started helping them paint this house in Anaheim Hills that we ended up shooting the Phoenix Project at. And slowly but surely, I was asked to dolly grip at my second AC. And I'd never seen a Fisher dolly in my entire life, but by day one, I was pushing shots, and it was something that the production team was something that it was nurturing, but it was also something that like there was a lot expected of everyone, but it wasn't like there was nobody's challenge was too great to be able to overcome or anything like that. But it was everybody. There was 15 people on set every day, trying to do their job the best that anybody on set could. So with everybody trying as hard as they could every day, every single shot became its own challenge. I'm like, let's get through this. Let's kill it, because the actors are killing it and the director's killing it because he's also ADing this movie, and the camera team's killing it because, they're getting these rack focus shots in 2 or 3 takes. And it became this perpetual machine that wanted to do better every single time because we weren't getting paid. So we had to make a product that we could be proud of to hopefully one day be able to make money off of making a movie.
Hell yeah.
Otherwise, we were all just wasting our time.
Yeah.
But it was like 12 kids from Chapman, essentially, and then this kid. And then we hired 3 actors. And with myself, it makes 4 cast members total. And so there was like 15 people on our crew at any given time.
We're not talking just 12 kids from Chapman.
Yeah, 12. Yeah.
This is years of grooming and selecting and finding down to the point every single person to fit in every single specific role. I mean, think of it like scouting a baseball team almost. We really went and dissected what we were going to need to make this film, and found the people that we were going to trust to be able to make it. So it's I don't think I would have replaced any single person on our crew with anyone else in the world. We had a really great team to make this movie, and I think it shows.
So that's a little bit of the behind the scenes crew. We're talking to Mike, Tyler, and Orson. They're a cast and crew of the Phoenix Project. You can find on our link section all about it. So let's talk about who you just mentioned right now, the cast. Talk about the cast.
Okay, yeah. Well, in a film like this where there's only 4 actors and they're all leads, you can't hide anybody. Everybody's got to be great, or else it's really apparent where your cast is lacking. And so I knew coming in that I wanted Orson to play one of the parts. I mean, we're writing partners. We go way back. We've made a lot of films together, and I knew I wanted him for one of the parts. So that kind of gave me my condition. And then the other 3 actors, we looked through about 3,700 different actors for those 3 roles.
Let's say thousands of headshots.
But it's important to find the right mix of actors, especially when you're not going to go cast any names. They all have to be really, really good. And it was interesting because there's kind of this notion that you'll always cast the best actor that comes in for any part, but it's almost not really true, because you need to cast the actor that's going to fit the part best, not that's just going to necessarily be the best overall actor. So I had a set of rosters of 3 or 4 different lineups of, okay, if this guy, this is my top choice team, but if one of these guys says no, then I need to, audible almost and go to this whole other team, because I can't have this guy from this team. He's not going to fit with the chemistry of these few pieces from this team. And especially, again, with such a small cast, they all really needed to work together. And fortunately, I was able to get actually my top choice crew cast. They all came together, and some guys put themselves at extraordinary financial risk to come do this film,
which we didn't really know. But
some people, one of our cast members was undergoing a huge life change. I mean, he was a struggling alcoholic at the time.
It's true. Yeah.
Overcoming that to be in this film. I mean, we have some really incredible stories with this cast, and the fact that they came together to be on this is really a miracle. But I couldn't have hoped for a better set of actors.
And being that sort of outsider on the set, I want to reiterate from the cast perspective, like they came on and they wanted to be a part of this project as much as we did. And that was like, for me, very, very inspiring because we got there, I mean, on the one hand, we were just making a movie for no money. But on the other hand, there were people that were being paid to be there and taking a much smaller check than they would from another film that they definitely would be cast in if they didn't take that job.
Yeah.
I definitely feel you, man.
And it was just, we all just wanted to have a great summer, and I think we did.
How long did the movie take to make?
Took us 20 days of shooting. We shot 5 days on, 2 days off for a month for July. Basically, we finished started July 4th and went to August 4th or something like that, just to begin the first weekend in August in 2011.
July 5th.
It's July 5th.
Yeah,
it was probably
it
was a month.
How's that barbecue first?
Yeah.
Cool. And then the last thing I want to ask you guys, because you guys are independent filmmakers, and we have a lot of listeners who are indie filmmakers themselves and aspiring indie filmmakers. So I need to ask you guys, what advice do you have for anyone who's not in the development stages of making an indie movie, or just even writing it? What insight could you bestow upon our filmmaker listeners?
I'll give you an answer to that question. Go, bro.
First and foremost, if you're an independent filmmaker, there's one or two things that I know I struggled with for a long time that, it's only through going through some long, arduous film process that you even realize you're kind of doing. As an independent filmmaker, first of all, there is such this worry now that everybody can make movies. And so there's so many movies being produced, and there's so much content out there. And I think there's a big pressure a lot of times when you're making a movie to think about what else is out there and what else is going on and what else is happening and what everybody else is doing. And the more as an independent filmmaker you focus on what else everybody else in the world of independent film is doing, the less you end up focusing on what you yourself are doing. And it makes you doubt yourself in a lot of ways. So first of all, don't ever think about
what other people are
making. Focus on what you're doing. Focus on making the best that you can. And when you commit to make something, make it until it's done. Don't just kind of get to a point and say, okay, it's good, we're set. If you really care about something, put all of your weight behind it, and you can make it happen. Anything you want to do, you can get it done as long as you're willing to put the time in to get there.
Yeah, that kind of leads to my thing too, where I feel independent film, I feel like you should almost take for granted that it's a passion project, because if you should be making it because it's your passion, and every decision that you make in the course of that film, from writing it to pre-production to post and deciding where you want to show it, it's always come down to what is the heart of this film? I mean, we talked about the rewrites and everything, and it always comes down to that passion. Why? I mean, you have to ask yourself, why did you want to make this story? And that answer will probably take you through every step of the way.
Siempre con pasión.
Indeed. And I don't know, I would say just to the writers of independent films. When you are writing your script, always imagine that it's going to actually be made. Because if you're writing a script, you're like, oh, no, it's okay, I'm never going to make this. Then you're just going to write crazy things that you'll never be able to make. So you should write a film and plan on making every moment of it. And when you write a scene that's really cool and you're like, oh, all it cost is some fire and explosions, be like, how do I do the exact same thing for my story and for my character without just burning money?
So no C4 in the movies.
and you can do it. You can do it. As it's like as a writer, you have the power to make your film cheap and cool, and both of those at the same time. So,
and then our final question. I'm sorry about this, guys. What can our audience do to help you guys out?
Sorry, one more time.
Your audience?
Yeah. What can we do to help you guys out?
Oh my word.
Well, what can you do right now?
Spread the word.
Spread the word.
I mean, absolutely.
Spread the word. Yeah.
Disciples go.
And in all honesty, just keep an eye out on our movie, because more than anything, we just want you guys to watch it.
Yeah.
That's how you can help us more than anything. You can watch our movie.
Yeah. When we make it so people can watch the movie, we want it to be watched, because at the end of the day, we made the movie so people can watch it.
Yeah, and to anyone who's watching this, interview or hears anything that we talk about, we want people to get excited about the movie. And if somebody does get excited about the content that we release, I suppose we would like to ask to call those people to action and share it with people who they know would be really excited about that.
Yeah. I feel like it's one piece I want to add to that. Advice to independent filmmakers.
Oh, more advice for independent filmmakers. One more.
Yeah, go for it.
I do that, yeah, because there's one piece. We, as I said, we went to film school. We did the whole film school thing for a whole handful of years, and there's one piece of information that I keep with me every day. Definitely the most important thing I learned in film school was taught to me in production management class, and it pertains past film as well. I would say, in life. But in film, you want three things. You want a film to be inexpensive, you want it to get done quickly, and you want it to be of a good quality. But the problem is you can never have all three of those things. You can only ever have two of those things. And the crux of it is, with independent film, you're not going to have a lot of money. It's not going to be inexpensive. And that's just how it goes. It's set that way. And it needs to be good, because it's to get seen, it has to be good. So it is going to take a long time. And you have to be willing to embrace that and say, okay, I'm going to make a great film, and it's going to be inexpensive. So it's going to take me a while.
Yeah.
Once you accept that, you can do anything you want.
Yeah. And we thought we could have all three.
We did.
We thought, hubristically, we were like, yeah, we're going to make a cheap movie, and we're shooting in a month, and it's going to be so good. But 2 years later, we're still finishing it now. So to all the independent filmmakers who are just starting to make their movie, see you in 2 years, and good luck, sir.
But
can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
exactly. Don't be discouraged by that either, because in those 2 years, we've been setting small, reachable goals for ourselves that have made every abstract idea and goal possible to reach. So it is possible. So we will see you in 2 years when that comes.
Yeah, so like anything worth having, it is going to be a hard road. So we're talking to Mike, Tyler, Orson from the Phoenix Project again. We usually talk to a lot of independent filmmakers on the show, and they usually end up with, help us with our Kickstarter, our Indiegogo, whatever it is. All they're asking you for is watch the film, be interested in the film. That's it. Doesn't cost anything except a couple of eyes, maybe three. There's some of you out there that have a third eye. That's all it costs. So enjoy it. Get behind it. You can hear the passion in their voice. Guys, thanks a lot. Wish you nothing but success. You're welcome back anytime to talk to the Phoenix Project or any other project you guys have going.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks
really
so much.
appreciate it.
Okay, thanks a lot.
It's time for the Geek Speak Show Book Club. Our books or graphic novels. Tell us what your favorites are. Books at thegeekspeakshow.com.
Except if your name is Joe Giapitana, because he doesn't read. He looks at the pretty pictures. So books at thegeekspeakshow.com. Whatever you guys want to suggest. I know you guys read a lot. Go ahead and do so. Books at thegeekspeakshow.com. And I promise I will check them and finally start giving out your books on here. So, no Rachel today, so no Star Wars book. Joel, what graphic novel or comic book do you
It's not a graphic novel this time.
Okay, a poster. What do you have?
This time, I actually did some research, and I found a book that I liked. It's
How to Draw.
How to Draw Where's Waldo by Waldo. No, this one is The Law of Superheroes by James Daly and Ryan Davidson. These two dudes are lawyers by the day, but they're geeks by night, and they tackle all the questions that us geeks have wondered, and it's through like a legal perspective. So some of these, I wrote some of them down, like, could Superman sue if someone exposed his true identity as Clark Kent? If you've ever wondered, does the Americans with Disabilities Act afford mutants any protection? Or business law, which business designation would best fit a superhero team for tax and liability purposes? It's just like one of those books. I really like it because it's short, it's concise, like I said, and it's something that's very entertaining for me.
Well, like, for example, could we sue the Avengers for destroying New York or my shop while they were saving me at the same time?
Who pays for all these things? Yeah, all that damage. It's all in the book. It's definitely worth looking at.
It looks like the only thing that survived was that shawarma shop at the end.
Oh, yeah. Those shawarmas. Shawarma. Anyways, like this book, the reason why it caught my attention is because it's short essays that you can read. For me, I read it while I was on the toilet. So I
think what caught your attention was that it's short.
Yeah, it's short. And
just like Joe.
So yeah, one more time. It is the Law of Superheroes, and it is by two lawyers named James Daly and Ryan Davidson. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just when I need more lawyer stuff. So my book is Steven Spielberg, a biography, not by him, by Joseph McBride. It talks about pretty much his whole life, not his whole life, he's still alive, but it's pretty good. It gives some good insight into what made him Steven Spielberg, what made him do the movies that he did. And you know, I think we talked about it before on the show. He was doing, you know, the Super 8 movies, not the JJ one, but real actual Super 8 movies. Even before we had Super 8, the 8mm films. And I think it's on E.T. or Empire of the Sun, one of his Spielberg movies. It's one of the extras on there. They look pretty good, actually. You could tell this kid was gonna go far.
He's gonna go places.
Yeah. So you know, it talks about all of that. It talks to his family friends. It talks to everything. I don't remember. I didn't check while I was reading it. I don't think it's authorized by him, but it doesn't say anything bad. It's a pretty good book. So again, it's Steven Spielberg, a biography. It's called by Joseph McBride. He's the writer. So that's what I have for the book club.
I did just watch Lincoln this week too.
Yes, and that was also another Spielberg movie.
Plug.
Those are the books. Again, books at the book, thegeekspeakshow.com, books at the book club, books at thegeekspeakshow.com. Whatever you guys want. Don't just go the Joel route and give us a cool comic or a cool graphic novel.
Today I chose the book. Hey.
Yeah, books that actually have letters in them. And they could be about sci-fi, horror, sci-horror, biography like this, like Steven Spielberg, anything like that, fantasy. As long as we would like it, as we would geek out about it, then it's okay. Okay.
That's the Geek Speak Show Book Club. Tell us what your favorite books or graphic novels are. Books at thegeekspeakshow.com.
And that's the show for this week. Joel, did you have fun?
No, Rachel wasn't here, so I'm a little bummed.
Everybody else, we didn't have our daily Star Wars.
Rachel, where are you?
So Rachel will be back next week, hopefully. So will we. What will we talk about? A couple of things that I'm talking to, actually. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna surprise you guys. Treat it like a convention. You know what's gonna be there, but you don't really know until you actually walk down the aisles. So treat the show like that.
We have to surprise you.
Do you know what we say every week? Come on back next week, and Joe will speak more.
The Geek Speak Show will be back next week with a brand new episode. In the meantime, follow them on Twitter at Geek Speak Show 1. That's the number 1. Become a fan on Facebook. Subscribe on iTunes. Watch special event coverage and the Geek Speak video show on YouTube/Geek Speak Videos. And listen to past shows in the archive section on thegeekspeakshow.com. A big thank you to the Geek Speak Show's content providers, GeekTyrant.com, Collider.com, RamaScreen.com, and MightyVille.com. The Geek Speak Show.